yes. So to introduce the research, you need to first need to know what is the research in optometry, importance of evidence-based practice, and role in advancing the eye care. Okay. Now, what is research in optometry? What is research in optometry? Uh, like I said that if you think that you are exposed to some data, then you can always plan that how to formulate the data, and for that you need an mentor, you need an recommendation. So for research, there are minimum three things are required. Okay, one is an intentful student, second an experienced guide, and third the facilitation or the facilitator institute. Okay, these three things will help you to pursue the research. For doing any research, first of all, you need a proposal, right? You need a proposal. Now, how to write proposal? That will be the next phase. But we need to learn what is research in optometry. Now, anything which will collect data from optometry, anything from anywhere. Suppose you are not getting the real-time data, but you can always get the data from the back end or the background or retrospective data, which has been already taken. And by seeing the data, you can check always that how to formulate or and what to formulate, what to take from that data, what not to take from that data. You can always mine that data. Data mining is what? Like when you get a raw data, that is kind of a junk data. Okay. Now, rather to call it as a junk data, it is better to call that as a raw data. Okay. Because from raw data, you make a copy of that raw data and you need to filter. Okay, that there might be some blank spaces, there might be some filled spaces, there might be some typo errors, so there might be duplicates. So you need to first remove all those things. Okay, and once you remove all those things, you will get your filtered data on which you are planning to do. Now, there are certain things which are important on evidence-based practice. Evidence-based practice means what? Like if someone is doing eye checkup, okay, someone is doing refraction. Okay, now in that particular practice, suppose Apurvayan is doing an evidence-based practice, like on his clinic regular basis, the patients are coming. They are what type of patients? Are they myope? Are they hyperope? Are they presbyope? What are the prevalence of that? Rather prevalence, we call it incidence. What are the incidence of them? Incidence is what? Incidence is something when someone appears to your clinic, that is incident, and that is also evident, because the record is creating the evidence of having the data being collected. Also, there is something called ethical practice. Ethical practice means when you are recording any data, you need to be very clear that your data needs to be affiliated, verified, and you are always having a consent of the patient, right? Whomever data you are collecting, you need to have a clear cut consent that I will be recording your data for clinical purpose, for research purpose, for training purpose, anything, but that needs to be clearly stated. If anyone is not interested, that is also needs to be what? Needs to be mentioned in a paper, in that paper where the patient is signing, right? Next is what? Next is you need to abide by the healthcare law, because being an optometrist, you are a healthcare practitioner. And an healthcare practitioner, acha, I'm talking in English. You're all okay with that, right? Yeah. So, when you are talking about ethics, evidence, and healthcare practice, there are certain laws which you need to abide by. If you are if you're recording a data which is clinical, and you have not mentioned anywhere that you are under CCTV surveillance, or you are and you are unknowingly recording any clinical data, that comes under DPDP 2023 Act. But however, and DPDP is Digital Data Protection Act 2023. Now, when you are talking about that how to collect data, suppose you are not exposed to data, being a third year student, you are not exposed to any data. But if you are doing camps, that data you can always collect, right? That data you can always collect, and you can see the gender variation, you can see the age prevalence, how it is, how it relates to age. You can check the economical status, you can check the economical findings, household practice, then professions, different professions you can identify, how does that relate to presbyope, if there is specific need, visual need and visual demand on them, and how much effective is your why I'm talking about camps, because I came to know that most of you are going to camps as third year students, and you are collecting data, and you need to know that how to plan a research on that. See, research is always better if you are doing it uh, if you are doing it in a gathering, okay? Because if you're doing a research, if you complete a research, however, it takes courage because it's a commitment. A case study might be a commitment of 6 months, okay? But a group of case study might be a cross sectional. It depends that how many cases you are taking, right? Again, if you are not exposed to any parameters or any data, or you cannot able to collect data properly, there are always various published researches. You can get them in PubMed, you can get them in Google Scholar, you can get them in various uh, research search engines. From that, from those portals, you can get those details as a published research. You can review them always, and with the clubbing of those reviews, you can that review also you can publish. Even if you do not understand by reading a paper, you can always connect to the corresponding author via email, by question. Even you can ask the editor. If the editorial questions are very very impressive, and your question might lead to various other doors of research, because by reviewing studies, by reviewing researches, you are getting various types of research gaps, okay? And identifying those research gaps, you can always put up query that I'm not getting it, I'm not understanding it, and what you are not understanding, that also you need to give proper reference, proper citations, not citations, proper references, that on this reference it is coming like this, on the other hand, on this research I am coming this research is stating this, why it is so. You can directly put up these questions to to the editor, and editor can put up these questions to the author, and combiningly your questions and answer can be published in the journal. So there are various ways to publish it. So let's not go to the publication, but primarily you need to know that how to plan it, okay? Now, the role of advancing eye care depends on the research, because unless you identify the gap of the research, unless you plan the research properly, the advancement will not happen. Advancement will happen only when your researches are significant. On those research data, you are getting evaluated, and those data are, once they get published, people will be reading your research, and when they're connected to the society directly or indirectly, suppose the direct research weightage is like 70%, and indirect research weightage is 30%. But if your indirect research is covering the massive population, if the indirect research is a longitudinal study. Longitudinal study means long-term study. Then it will connect and it will impact in a vivid base. Then the weightage might flip over. Okay. Apurvan, can you go to the next slide, please? Okay. So in first slide, any questions? Any understanding gaps? No, right? Yes? Why everyone is in mute?
No, sir.
No, right? Okay, good. Okay, then types of research in optometry. So I am not going directly to the types of research. Types of research might be the next chapter. Okay, but the types of research in optometry, first you need to understand that what types of optometry research you can do. That is clinical research, okay, which most of the people can do. Okay, whoever is exposed to any clinic. Okay, so for that clinical exposure, you first need to collaborate with a clinic. You can do community-based research, but for that also you need a setup or a group or a team who can who can gather that data, who can manage the patients, who can arrange the clubs. Okay, and then you can pursue the community-based research. And clinical research is what? Clinical research is once you are exposed to some clinic, but there is a gap here. If your clinical mentor, whom you are assisting or whom you are observing, if that clinical mentor is not allowing you ethically or research based guidance, if they're not allowing you, then you should not do research from those division, because your mentor is not allowing, because the patients, so you need a consent, right? And patients might not like that my data is used for this purpose of research. Okay, so primarily you need to take the consent. But if you say that your name won't be, just 1 second, huh? Yes, so your name won't be visible in this research, your name won't be visible in this research, then it is called blind research, double blind or single blind. There are type of blind researches also, where the institution name, okay, the institution name, the patient name, it is always better the respondent's name or the patient name needs to be blindfolded. Okay, so that some personal data or personal identification should not be shared with the public. Okay, even if you see any kind of published research where there are case studies and all, you will see the visible identifications like eyebrows, eyes are blindfolded. Okay, because by identifying the eyebrows, the person can be identified. Okay, facial recognition, there are specific things which are blindfolded. Okay, now next comes epidemiological studies. What are epidemiological studies? Epidemiological studies are them who are which is to made to do on the community based. Okay, now this is a vivid way of understanding epidemiological research. It is not just camp and taking, means going to camp, taking data and analyzing them, writing about them and publishing about them. Okay, just 1 minute, huh? I'm in a seminar. I'll call you once it is over. Aloha, Leon. I'll call you. Sorry. So in the meantime, when we are talking about epidemiological research, it is based on statistical understanding. Okay, the more statistical modeling you are doing, the more statistical, like SPSS. There is a software called SPSS. It needs to be licensed and purchased, but all these most of the statistical tools, they are providing licenses for students also, which is cheaper in cost. So you can always access them, and the more you play with these tools, it will be helpful for you to learn and to categorize your data and to submit the data and analyze that what is the significance. Significance is what? Significance is nothing but p-value. Okay. Now there is something called statistical significance. There is something called clinical significance. Statistical significance is what? When you are doing a t-test or pair t-test. Now I'm going into too much detail into research. Let's not go to that part as a first day, but there are types where you need to do the means statistical analysis, and suppose there is only one case, but it is very very significant, very very rare. Okay. And if you publish this case, then it will open up various views and angles of understanding that case, how you have treated. Okay. Then that case need not to be statistically proved, but that case needs to be presented as a case study. Okay. And a detailed discussion of the treatment analysis, treatment policies, okay, and treatment algorithms, and treatment plan, and how it is treated, how much the patient is cured. That is clinically significant. That is called clinically significance. Understood? Okay, good. Next come the laboratory research. Now, people are often confused about what is laboratory. Okay. Laboratory research means where a lab is being used. That can be physics lab, that can be chemistry lab, that can be biotechnological lab, that can be means any kind of laboratory where the research is being done, and it is in vivo or in vitro. Okay, means the research needs either means the lab is used that is already equipped, and that means the means the research you are conducting, that is based on lab. Like you are doing test on mice, or you are doing test on rabbits. Suppose you are testing atropine on rabbits and seeing its functionality. Okay. And seeing how much time it is getting dilated for rabbits in different percentages, and see how much time it is happening for humans. In fact, you can check it on human male female, check the variance, and also do the analysis on rabbits. Even you can do various glaucoma tests in rabbits and mice. So those are lab-based study. So for holding the labs, maintaining the rats and labs in proper hygiene, you are maintain. So for that you need lab certification, and also you need the what do you need? You need the ethical clearance. Okay, for any lab certificate, lab based study which involves lives that needs ethical clearance. Now, let's not go into a very complicated way. So, laboratory based research means the research which is happening on the lab. Epidemiological studies means the studies which is happening on the mass population. Clinical research means the researches which is happening on the clinics or clinic based research. Behavioral studies means suppose you are analyzing behavior of the patients, you are analyzing behavior of the eye care responses, your behavioring means you are checking the quality of the eye test by analyzing NPS. You are checking NPS is net promoter score. Suppose you have done a checkup, and then your patients are giving feedback. Even you can do these kind of research on the basis of your reviews, your Google response, and various other tools are available in the market for them. Okay, now Apurvan, can you go to the next slide? Common research topics. Yes, Mr. Topic Give, you will be very happy to see how to find out the topics. So how to find out the topics? First, you need to find out the refractive errors and correction methods. So these are common research topics. Okay. So refractive error based studies are the very common topics, and correction related methods are very common topics amongst optometrists. Dry eye syndrome and the treatment, they are very common. Contact lens safety and innovation, very crucial and happening in the field. Pediatric vision development and binocular vision, orthooptics. So these are very well versed, and the people are doing specialties, fellowship, and doing research on them, even fellowship on them. Low vision rehabilitation, it's another good topic. Even international fellowships are happening on this. And obviously, other divisions are already there in the field, and people are doing on it, and they're very successfully running. See, the basic criteria. So previously, cataract was the globally top ranked uh, cause for blindness. Okay. But nowadays, since last 2 years or also plus minus 6 months, uh, refractive error is the topmost cause. Okay. And we are the torchbearer of corrective refractive errors, means correction of the refractive errors. That is the, so if we focus on that, then individually, if we contribute to our part, it is a massive population we can cover. But we need major population to come into the community sector and serve for the population. In Shankar Netralaya, it is said that India lives in its villages. And if we serve them, it is like it's a national noble cause. Okay, it's a national noble cause. And don't think about that as an individual how much I can contribute. You do your part, inspire people, collaborate with people, and let them learn, and let them do their work in their part, in their location. And that's how the chain grows on. You understand? And that's how we should approach. We should never constrict ourselves that I will do in my comfort zone. See, your comfort zone will come, but before that, you need to serve. Once you serve, your comfort zone, your money, your gesture, your learning will all get impact. But you continue your service. Once you stop your service, you are nowhere. And moreover, there is a movie called Agontuk. I love this dialogue. Like, never become someone who is very cornered, and who is very sticking to their field, and not diversifying themselves. Diversification, understanding every bit of your knowledge. Whatever do you know? If I ask any of you that you explain what you don't know, it is very difficult. It is very difficult to share that what I don't know. But what you know, you can at least identify. There is something called SWOT analysis. Okay. I believe everyone have, till date, everyone have at least heard about it, right? But once you do your SWOT analysis, the biggest challenge you will face where, what is my weakness? Strength, though, many people can say, but what is my weakness? What is my opportunities? I can say, but what is my threat? So before doing any research, you need to always understand that first you need to do your SWOT analysis. Are we able? Are we have that courage to dedicate this much of timeline for this research? Research is never a short-term gain. Research cannot be done in a short-term outcome method. Research can be done in cross-sectional, but that also need to be done minimum of 2 years of 2 years of intervention. Okay. Now to get a critical case, now if a critical case comes, what do? We need to treat, right? Without treating, nothing will happen. Patient will not come to you again and again, and you will not treat them. It will not happen. You need to, if you cannot manage, you need to refer. A proper referral can save someone's life, and by referral you can get the proper amount and proper tenure and proper plan and management of that case, which is very rare, which came to you. I might not able to manage, so I will refer, and for that I need to learn whom I should refer, and that plan completes a circle, and that circle builds the first milestone, for first footstep of your research, because by doing that you are actually collaborating, and by collaboration you have already started unknowingly the first stage of research. Okay. Okay. Now the next part. Yes. Research skills for students. So what are the crucial research skills which needs to be learned by the students? So as I said, literature review and critical analysis. Okay. Before starting any research, at least you should study at least 50 odd researches minimum. If it is more, the more is better here. The more is better, because the more you study, the more you understand the research gaps, the major researches which is happening in the industry. Suppose myopia is a research topic which which I think everyone in the industry are keen about, right? And everyone is trying to control myopia. I don't know how and how much we are able to do it, but everyone is trying to control myopia. It is very evident, like, our environment is one of the key factor which is leading myopia, and it is also evident that closed sector schools, okay, closed sector schools, usage of digital devices, majority time playing indoor, that is a very crucial cause. I cannot able to give you on the first class, I cannot able to give you the proper references and citations, but I will encourage you that you go ahead and search the platforms like Google Scholar, like PubMed, like any other search engines where you can get the research data, like academia.edu, researchgate. So these are the ways where you can get published researches, and you can always find out that what they are trying to say. And always there is a limitation of research. Any research which is not highlighting limitation, any research which is limitation, is what, limitation is something which is like torch bearer, means you are giving the baton to the next person, your next researchers. Okay. And the next researcher will carry on your work. You have done it previously, your cross sectional part, now they will do a cross sectional part in their study, and then the next genre. Okay. So likewise it goes on. Research never stops. Research is an ongoing process. It happened earlier, it is happening today, it will happen future. So if you say that no, I have done this research, no one will do this in future, yes, I'll tell that. What is research gap? Research gap is something, suppose I have done a study on a specific location like Tripura. Okay, I have done a study on a specific location on Tripura, and on 6 months basis, 6 months timeline, and I got some about 700 patients. Okay. Now, on the 700 sample size, that is a good sample size. But if we are doing this, hello, yes. So when we are doing that, there are certain things which we cannot cover on that particular timeline. Suppose if we could cover multiple places, the insight may be much more broader, right? If we could have done this study for furthermore 1 year, the more sample size will come, our statistics might get more strengthier. Suppose if we have not considered some specific diseases, suppose if we have not considered some systemic diseases or local diseases or focal diseases or some kind of disorders, behavioral issues, sleep disorders, suppose we have not considered, if we consider them, then the outcome might be different. So that is why we have focused two things. One is cross-sectional, another one is longitudinal. Now, if something is more than 4 years, for a longer 10-year based research, that is called longitudinal. If it is some focal research, suppose 6 months, 1 year, you are collecting that data. Okay. Or you have collected the data for 1.5 years or even 2 years. Okay. Then also it needs to be cross-sectional, because you are not covering all the population. Okay. Even longitudinal also, you cannot cover all the population. However, it can be, means it can called longitudinal because your tenure is too long. Your tenure is more than 3 years or 4 years. Okay. And also the length of the longitudinal studies are vivid, in very in depth. But also that does not mean that cross-sectional studies are not in depth. They are also in depth, but your focus is on a specific area, specific field, specific topic. Now I'm slowly going to the topic now. Data collection and ethics. Now I have told you about the literature review. Okay. Now have you understood the research gap? What is research gap? Research gap is something when you have done your research and you are highlighting that I was unable to cover this part in my research, and that is kind of an acknowledgement from the author.
Okay, sir.
Yes. And I'm highlighting this on my research so that my next person who will be doing research on this particular topic which I have done, so that is a indication, and that is a reference. Suppose that person, the next person, wants to ask or wants to explain that why I need to do this research, so they can show that in this published research I have seen that it has been highlighted that they were unable to cover this part on their research. So I am very curious that what might be the outcome if we do this research. You understand?
Sir, one more question.
Yes.
So, like we understand this is the research gap. Then how we will we want to study one more I just pick the research gap and I wanted to be study that topic. Okay, I make my research on that topic. But how we will understand that somebody is already doing that research?
That doesn't matter. That
Hmm.
doesn't matter. Like, sorry, you first complete your question.
Yes, sir. Already done. Like I choose as a myopia and 10 like a like 10 to 20 years. Yeah, of 5 to 10 years. And already someone is already doing that research. So it's a common thing is happen, or we need to just avoid these things.
See, if you are interested into something,
Okay.
I've told this in the beginning. If you're interested into anything, anything means anything.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
You first explore your topic.
Okay, sir.
Your topic means your keyword.
Okay,
Start
sir.
with your keyword. Suppose you have said myopia. Okay.
Okay.
First you see what are the, you type myopia, and what are the, means there are lakhs of studies, it will come
Yes, sir.
from the primitive era. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now
Okay.
you will focus on last 10 years, because beyond 10 years publications are become archive. Okay.
Okay.
But still you can refer them, still you can cite them. Okay. But
Okay.
beyond 10 years of data is called archive data. Okay. So you first focus on last 10 years, what studies has happened in or upon myopia.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Now once you will find this keyword based analysis, then what will come out? Then your you will focus on what are the trend, what are the trend. Like someone is doing developmental myopia, someone is doing pathological myopia, someone is doing school based screening, someone is doing the complexity of myopia, someone is doing genetic factors of myopia, someone is doing so there are
Most
various
of things, sir.
factors. Okay. Now
Okay.
which topic is interesting you more? Now on
Okay.
that basis you first select any study and see what they have referred. Okay. So you also start finding them out.
Okay, sir.
And
It means it doesn't matter कि whether I already someone is taking that doing that
doesn't
research.
matter,
Doesn't
because
matter.
you are doing in your clinic, your part, your
Okay,
area,
sir.
your location, your timeline.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I
Right?
understand. Yeah.
Your framework is different. And
Okay,
if
sir.
it
Yes.
is same also, the other
Hmm.
person is doing it in some other area, right?
Our people is also different, and the area and the criteria and parameter is also different. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even
So,
if someone is doing that, you can always collaborate to that person. That is the beauty
okay.
of a research.
Yes, sir. We just see that same thing happen in some other places. We just see the differences. Yeah, you are right, sir.
So that can also become a multi-center study. So if
Yes.
that person is seculated and doing the research in their field, their part, their location, their gender population, but you are doing in your epidemiology, in
Yes,
your
sir.
geography, and then it can become a multi-center study.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is the
Huh.
beauty of research. This research is never become seclusive.
Okay,
Research
sir.
is means research is very much open. So the primary thing is freedom of mind. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Do
Yes, sir.
not have any mind block.
Okay, sir.
If you are interested, just open up and approach.
Sir, how to approach? Like I just choose one topic, and then how to what kind
No,
of a thing?
how have you choose the topic? So before approaching, so
Uh,
yesterday, not yesterday, 2 days back, I was talking to Dr. Gupte, and it was a innovative based research and a national based research. So the first thing he asked me that आप 2 पन्ने में उसके बारे में मुझे कुछ लिख के दे दो, कुछ वीडियोस दे दो मुझे, and then we will plan about it. So the first thing is proposal.
proposal.
If you write a proposal, you will understand there are various things which will clear in your mind automatically. Because to write a proposal, at least you need to refer at least 25 articles. Below 25 is not accepted. Okay. At least 25 articles you need to refer on your proposal. And then your proposal summary, your synopsis, your review of literature, your introduction, your background, everything will fall in. And in the introduction, at the end of the introduction, you can write the research gaps, that why you wanted to do this research. Okay. And why you wanted to do this research will furthermore clarify and make you confident. And on the base of that, you can write down your research questions. You can make your hypothesis, and you can develop further. Sir, could you explain about the proposal? I have just explained the
Sir,
proposal.
sir, like this is a very far thing. Like I just choose one topic. Before that, I started my own research. I wanted to review the literature review. I need to be done, na? So, sir, what thing I will look into the literature review? Like what kind of approach I will, what things I need to be think about the
So,
literature review.
so
That's
topic,
something.
selection of topic comes
Is
farther
it?
late. Okay. Very
Uh,
far. Topic. So selection of topic is very far.
no, no,
So
sir. Like the teacher is
first
giving
of
me
all,
a topic.
you need to find a keyword of your interest. Okay. Suppose I said myopia. You also said
Okay.
myopia, right?
Okay.
So, uh, in myopia, you will get
Okay.
various studies.
Okay.
Now you will search about your interest, that according to your interest, how many researches are falling in.
Okay.
There might be lakhs or thousands of studies. Okay.
Okay.
And from those thousands, you need to pick up few articles, like 25 articles, and you read them very well. You read them very well. Find out what is their research gap.
Okay.
Okay. By finding those research gaps, you need to then find out which is feasible to you. Because if you don't have OCT, if you don't have, uh, you know, if you don't have OCT, if you don't have, corneal topography, if you don't have keratometry at least, okay, there are certain things you cannot do. You cannot measure, you cannot do the basic parameters understanding, right? So you need to understand which study amongst them, amongst those research gaps, which you can do by your own. Or if you collaborate to your nearby to someone who is having those instruments, then you can further go ahead and plan accordingly. Once you plan that, then what will happen? Then you need to find out the multiple keywords which is coming to your research gaps and studies again and again. Okay, the selection, the 25 selections, the studies selections which you have already done, you need to find out which keywords are coming again and again. Suppose one is myopia. Okay, you need to
Okay,
find
sir.
out as per your interest how many keywords are happening. Now
Okay.
from those keywords, you need to formulate a title which
Hmm.
should not be more than 12 words. Okay. If it is more than 12 words, then you need to keep a shorter title or subtitle also. You understand?
Okay, sir. Like, sir,
Huh.
I am doing my fellowship. Like, I already done my internship at Dr. Shroff Charity Eye Hospital, and now I'm just doing my fellowship in pediatric optometrist in same hospital. And the teacher is already, the faculty is already giving me a topic to review the literature review. They are just saying me. So I just wanted to know, कि, as a student, what thing I can focus on the literature review so that I can
So,
understand things. Huh?
so you are already having a mentor, right?
Yeah, yeah, sir.
Now
Dr. Ganesh.
it comes under ethical practice when you are having a mentor without. I don't know. I'm declaring that I don't know your research, and I'm
Okay, sir.
declaring that I'm not intervening to your research.
Okay,
But
sir.
still, I can tell you that when you are selecting your topic,
Okay, sir.
and you are actually not selecting, your mentor has selected some topic and you are
Yes, sir.
working
Yes,
on
sir.
that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir.
On the
They're just saying
mentorship
to
of
review the
your
literature
correct.
first. Huh.
Correct. So on the basis of that, it is very easy for you because the topic has already been chosen, right?
Yes, sir.
And for
Yes.
that, you need to select, like, the topic you have selected. You
Okay.
can always understand from that topic that on which parameter, or on which dimension you are doing your research, right?
Yes,
Suppose,
sir.
for the sake of example, myopia again.
Okay.
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 Now, on myopia, if you are doing that research, again, you will do that keyword based researches. Suppose if you go to PubMed on the particular thing, suppose you need to get lot of studies on corneal curvature, pediatric myopia, and several other parameters, right? And on the
Okay.
basis of that, you can always decide that which study should you choose. It's always better that you choose which is within 10 years, but you can also choose to those studies which is well cited, published in a good journal, and or Scopus journal, or open air journal. Open air journal means Open Athens journal, or it is published in some published by some good good publisher, and also you can check the citations. Okay, or there are some very known good authors. You can always choose their studies also. So does that answer your question, or you wanted to ask something else? I have told something else.
Sir, like I wanted to know कि how can I approach literature review? मतलब what thing I need to be focused when I was read a literature review? Like my faculty say me कि you just read 15 literature review of this topic and then tell me the whatever what you are learning from that literature review. So how can I approach it? मतलब what things I
Is
will keep
your
in the
topic
mind?
already decided?
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay.
They are already
So
giving me.
okay. So take any keyword. What is the meaning of keyword?
Keyword
Meaning
is
of
like this already they mention is like if you have an IVF or twins like IVF twins and an ophthalmic manifestation. So that like this is a thing.
So
Yeah,
here what is happening? Here IVF is a keyword, twins is a keyword,
keyword ophthalmic manifestation.
birth complication might be a keyword
Yes,
on
sir.
IVF. So these things you can keep comma, put one word comma another word, and then do the keywords based search, or even
Okay, sir.
semicolon based search also you can do. So there are ways to do it. Those are technical parameters of searching literature review. So I
Okay.
would always suggest that from your title. So you have not done the back to front.
Okay.
You have already selected title. I don't know why,
Okay.
and I don't know on which basis. But
Uh,
then as I get the topic, now I am digging deeper.
okay, sir.
But I personally always prefer that first I read the articles, I
Okay.
understand the valuations, I understand the research gaps. Once I
Okay.
understand the research gaps, then I
Okay.
find the keywords. From those
Okay.
keywords, I will formulate my research title. Okay,
Okay, sir.
that is
Means
my
okay.
now process might differ mentor to mentor.
Sir, means I wanted to ask what thing I will focus when I will read a literature review.
Okay. You need to focus. First, you need to briefly understand your abstract.
Okay. Okay.
Then you need to understand your methodology.
Okay.
Obviously, background you will come to know when you have studied multiple articles, right?
Okay, sir.
So, but you need to focus on results, that on
Okay.
which variables they have taken,
Okay.
and on the variables which are key factors, which are key variables for you, and which is feasible to you. If there is any relation, you can always do critical comparative analysis, and that's how you need to write discussion. So, in discussion, you need to see that what they have discussed.
Okay,
So
sir.
creative means creating a discussion or creating questions for that article is not now is your target. Your target is
Okay.
to understand the article, and for that again you need to see the limitation. If that limitation is leading a question to your research, okay,
Okay.
then you can
Okay.
always support that yes, this study has stated this limitation, and I am interested to do and explore further on this limitation,
Okay,
and
sir. I got it.
you need to do further conclusion. Understood?
Okay. Yes, sir. I got it.
Conclusion is very important, but in the abstract, if you read very briefly the abstract clearly, I don't know, there are structured abstract, there are non-structured or flow abstract. So if you study about structured abstract, it is clearly stated in the abstract that what is the conclusion, what are the results, what are the introduction, and a brief overview we will get the methodology. But if it is non-structured, then it's just a story. Okay. However, then you need to see focus on the limitations, you need to focus on the methodology, you need to focus on the conclusion. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next comes the statistical data collection and ethics. I have already told about data collection and ethics. Statistical interpretation or statistical interpretation, right? Yes, statistical interpretation and scientific writing and presentation. That is very important. So these are important skills you need to learn, and skills cannot be learned in one day. Okay, it needs a lot of reading, it needs a lot of practice, it needs a lot of patience. And if you lose patience in between, if someone is interested and helping you, and you are impatient, then those persons will lose interest to guide you. Okay, so always have patience, always have respect, always provide regards, and then you need to discuss, you need to open up with a discussion. Okay, do not do such kind of thing that I'm from this institute, I'm from that institute, I'm in contact with him or her, and then that person will lose interest. Remember, for research you need to learn from everyone. No one is 100% in this world. Okay, so you need to learn from everyone, you need to learn from every bit, and part and you need to club, you need to club together, and then it will help you to structure a very good research. Understood? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next slide, Apurvan, please.
Sir, could you explain the citation, the meaning of citation?
I'll explain. The citation is something when you have, suppose you have done a research and you have published it. Okay, published in a good journal. Now, or you have published it in any journal. Now, when you have published it, if people can refer your article, okay, then you have achieved the first stage of it. And when that person's study is getting published, then your article will get one citation. Got it, Shivani?
Yes, sir.
Now, how to start a research project? So again, first you need to identify a research question, like why I should do this research. That is, anyone who submits a proposal, they will face this question: why you are doing this research? Now, sorry, am I audible and visible? Yes. So once why you should do this research, and for that answer I have given you the background till now, right? Next, identify the research question, then conduct the background research. How do you do the background research? You need to do the background research by doing the review of literature. Okay. Now, then choose the methodology. Now, how do you choose the methodology? You will find the methodology by seeing the appropriatability or the feasibility of conducting the research. It needs the research approach, it needs the research timeline, it needs the count or the sample size. You have calculated it well in a proper method. Then you need to see that that the approach is fine. You are doing qualitative or quantitative, means the expert opinion based research, a survey based research, a clinical research, laboratory research, or exploratory research, which is exploratory research. Many of the times they don't have any kind of referrals or citations, but it needs to be done by the experienced person in the field, because if those results leads to something else which is not evident, which is not properly formed or framed properly, then it will lead to some different direction. So it is always good that if you have some idea, if you have some innovative things in your mind, please consult with an expert. Okay, in the particular field, you might consult with an engineer, doctor, lawyer, anyone, even all of them. but then only it can become a good study. It need not to be like that you are an optometrist and you need to be with an optometrist and you need to do optometry related those things, but optometry relates to everything. If you tell anything today, I can relate it to optometry. So you need to go that fathom deep of optometry so that you can connect anything to optometry, and that's how it develops research. Am I clear? Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Now next is choose your methodology. Again, I told you, like your research plan or methodology is something which includes various factors like research approach, your research sample size, your timeline, tenure or timeline. Then it's inductive, deductive, what kind of research, all those things. Then again, there is something called qualitative, as I said, and there is something called quantitative, which needs to be analyzed, collected data of based on numbers, and analyze those numbers. In qualitative data, statistical analysis or is not that important in qualitative data, but in quantitative data, it is important that you collect your number based data and analyze them with your statistical tools. Yes. Then collect and analyze data. Yes. That is for yes, for qualitative data you will do thematic analysis, and for quantitative data you need to do the number based analytic tools like SPSS and all. The next slide, Apurvan, please.
Sir, can you please repeat the data analysis once again?
Yes. Data analysis depends on what type of research you are working on. Okay. Suppose you are working on a quantitative data. Quantitative data can be done in the approach of, means any research can be done with the approach of inductive or deductive. So any quantitative research that is done in a deductive method, and any qualitative data, any qualitative collection that happens in a inductive method. Now you can do inductive, deductive both in the similar way. You can do deductive first, inductive second. You can do inductive first, deductive second. That is the choice of yours. Which style your mentor is preferring, which style you are preferring, which style it is feasible for you. Okay. But analysis depends. First analysis you will do when you will complete your data collection, right? So once, suppose if it is a clinical based research, then first of all you need to collect the data from the clinic. First you implement your researches on the people, on the samples, right? And then you collect the data and then you analyze them. Okay. And if it is an expert opinion based thing, then which is qualitative, so that qualitative thing need not to be analyzed with SPSS or something number based data. However, it needs to be analyzed by the thematic analysis. Thematic analysis means you need to first understand the keywords which is repeating, which is happening again and again, and you need to see the flow, and then you need to identify the variables, and on the basis of that you need to analyze that in this thematic analysis which parameters are highlighted by the experts. Suppose you have done analysis, or you have taken opinion from 25 people, and from those 25 people, how many experts are highlighting on how many sectors, okay, or how many variables they are focusing on, or you know they're they're putting their pressure, that or emphasizing on that particular area. Suppose language barrier, or geographical barrier, or local training for local training of eye health care populations where the trained population is not available. So these are something which are very evident to those community-based researches where the geography is a barrier. For an example, I told you. Now, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Great. Next, which we are going to talk about, there is choose the methodology. I have already spoken. Then seek the mentorship and approval. As I said, that a mentor is very hard to find. If you are interested to any topic, to match your topic, see, topic needs to be chosen by you, not by your mentor. And your mentor needs to be chosen by you. Okay. A mentor needs to be chosen by you. So you first need to approach the person under whom you need to do research. Again, you need to understand the feasibility factor of the mentor, because that mentor might be blocked into several other researches or several other works, right? So if the availability, again, there might be some financial factors, there might not be some financial factors, but the interest, you need to also see that if your mentor has published some other works also, so why you are choosing that mentor? If your mentor is asking you, which is a very common for us as a students, that why me, right? Why me? Suppose my mentor gave me a mathematics work, and I don't want to do that work now. So I will ask, why me? There are some other students also, right? So you can always, means your mentor can also ask, why me? So you need to have the correct answers to convince him that yes, because of this, I am interested to work with you. There are various researches which happens randomly, and then at the end they don't get published, because the reason is they have not understood properly the research gap, and they have not framed the research questions properly, and the validation and the institutional affiliation is not there. You've understood? So because of that, you need to plan your research very well. Okay. There are various population who are practicing, okay, but they are not under some approved research institution, and that is why you need to be associated, or your mentor needs to be associated, or you need to collaborate with someone who is associated with some institute which can be which can give you that affiliation. So your research needs an affiliation, right? Without affiliation, your research might not get published, right? Because that values and that validates your research. Okay. Next comes the collect data and analysis data, that I have already summarized to you. Acha, next thing. Yes, these are the some portals where you can search your favorite keywords, and you can plan your data further. There are other sources also. I have not put them in the slides, but yes, you can always search. Okay, and you can find it out. Next. Now, challenges which I am facing, in a regular basis after starting this research institute. So, people in third year, people in second year, okay, they are interested into research, but they are not exposed to the data. So, I encourage them that you study at least. There are free, accessible, free subscription, various good journals which you can subscribe online, you can subscribe offline. Offline subscription, I think they charge a bit of amount, but yes, online there are several free journals that you can subscribe and read. And from those readings, you can always find out your research gaps. You can always find out the interest that is aligned with you, the feasibility. But for review researches, the feasibility is only about reading the language, understanding the statistics, and understanding the data properly. Okay. And then one thing is very important, that is called discussion. So you need to be very careful about writing a review article. You should always connect with a mentor who can guide you, that if there is some reviews needs to be done. So reviewing an article is very, very important. The more you review, the more feedback you will get, the more changes, the more correction, the more betterment of your article, even the more polished to your writing. Okay, the more polished to your writing you will get, the more featured article you will bring in future. Okay. The next thing, time constraints. So first thing is limited access to resources. So resources is now not limited. There are various open source platforms where you can get those resources. Even PubMed and NHS Trust publish their data. If you have some kind of access, you can get them. Okay. Let me put this thing into charge so that I can speak to you. Am I audible and clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Great. Next is ethical considerations. See, ethical considerations is something which is the key factor. Means if you want to publish any article in a good journal, you need to first declare that your study is ethically approved. Now, any institution, either they have central government affiliated ethical board approval, or else any institution should have a ethical board which consists 7 odd other populations, 7 odd other professionals, which includes doctors, lawyers, accountants, household workers, means housewives, even faculties from the same field, faculties from the other fields, economists, doctors, engineers is already there, and there is a specific construct you can search, and we might cover it later. But yes, the ethical board needs to be there in the institute. Okay, without that, a research institute is cannot affiliate any research for ethical clearance. Okay, so if you are doing any animal based research or where life is involved, so if it is a human research, you can take the consent, but animals cannot give you consent, right? So that is why you need the ethical clearance from the board. Okay. Okay. Next comes what? Next comes data reliability. Yes. So data reliability factors are very crucial, because you might means there are various ways to do mishap. So to ensure that you're not mishapping any data, there are statistical experts, there are clinical experts, there is primarily your mentor who will always lead to your study, so that your study is never get deviated, and also the reliability of the study. And that is why your institutional backup, your institutional affiliation is very important. If your data is not valid, your institution will not approve that, right? But again, your mentor will help you to understand that how to collect, where to collect, whom to collaborate, where to go, when to collect, what is the timeline, everything. So you should plan with your team and with your mentor. Okay. In various places, it is called research director. In European countries, in Australia, in American means continents, it is called research director, who research and direct your researches. Okay. Then comes what next slide, Apurvan, please. Okay. Then comes benefits of research and benefits of research experience. So research experience can I call it, means your name gets eternity when you do a good research. You can get popularity. Okay, so that is another factor, but ultimately your research contributes significantly to the society. Your research contributes significantly to the field of your expertise. Your research contributes significantly to the other professionals who are working alongside with you. Am I loud and clear? I hope so. So
Yes, sir.
yes, thank you. So it enhances the clinical reasoning. It builds the academic credentials. It opens doors to the postgraduate opportunities, and postgraduate means postmasters. Okay. Then it contributes to community eye health. It is not only community eye health, it is various other advancements also. It is research is never constrained to some specific thing. Research can be done collaboratively in any way, any factor, as per the researcher's feasibility. Am I clear? Next, Apurvan. Yes. Then it's time to conclude and call to action. So research is a vital part of optometry education, which make optometrists professional, equipped, means professionally equipped, understand their data, understand their clinical aspects, understand their what they're doing and why they're doing. Research gives them the clarity. Research gives them the confidence that yes, I have done this research, and then in future we will do the other stuff. Just give me 1 minute. Huh? Hi, am I audible? I'm back. So
Yes, sir.
Yes.
okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next thing is it means we always recommend to start small, stay curious, and seek guidance. I always respect this, and I always prefer this. Do not start with big locations with like national based research, like prevalence of myopia in India or prevalence of myopia in East India. Not even prevalence of myopia in Tripura, because that is a big location you cannot cover. However, you can start with small schools, you can start with small colleges where you can have a handful amount of people, where you can have a good control. So start with small and then plan accordingly. Once you have the experience, you can again plan further, and never expect that every study, every research, yes, they are always prosperative study. Prosperative means we can always expect them to publish. We aim them to publish, but not all studies get published in a good journal. Okay, so you always try to polish your write up first. Once you start writing, once you start practicing, it all depends on practice. Research experience cannot happen in one day or 1 week or even 1 year. It needs a really vivid experience. Okay. And once you are done so, and then you can become a good researcher. Acha. Next, what next is your contribution can shape the future of eye care. That is very true. That is very true. So your means the eye care is very, very evolving. Now even you can see that people have started doing refraction in remotely. Even in our school time we cannot imagine that, right? So it is all about innovation. It is all about a little thought. It is all about a prospective prosperous thought. Okay. And never think that this cannot happen. Everything can happen if you wish to happen, if you wish to make this happen. Okay. So on this note, I thank you everyone, and I hand over to Apurbayan, and I'm open for questions. If any questions further, please.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, sir, I have a question apart from research. Can I ask?
Yes, please.
So like I'm already do my internship at Dr. Shroff, and now I'm just doing my fellowship at the same hospital. Okay, sir. So it is beneficial to do